Heavy money.
Heavy money, about 149
because
million.
oil workers were not working.
$159 million because oil workers were not working in a particular
Just a day.
Just a day. Just imagine they went for a week. Look at how much that the country will
have lost.
So you understand? So these are the issues. And what we want is the government to just come out. Be honest with Nigerians. Be honest with the people you govern. Let the people know that you truly cares. Now, countries go through down times. It is the way that the government come out to the people. Guy, Nigerians, this is the problem we are facing at this moment.
At the moment.
This is how we can go about this. You are not in this alone. We are in this
together.
We can see examples in Kenya. Kenyan president will come out. We are going through this. We are going through that. But the government will be in it with you, which shows that you want the citizens to endure some level of pain. Let the leaders to be able to endure these pains. You know, you lead by example. That is what
not in abstract.
Not in abstract. You lead by example, not in abstract. Now, people hear the news every day that $160 million has been allocated for the presidency, has been allocated for this and that. And
we did a story this week. Punch did a story this week on how much was spent for recurrent expenditure in the last 3 months. Or sorry, in the first quarter of 2024. How much was used for feeding in various government house, so billions. So it was in billions, really. Per state, billions. 30 states out of 36 states.
Travel allowances.
Billions. Feeding.
In the
billions.
First quarter of 2024.
And if these guys cannot cut their own coats,
that is it.
You know, why are you telling Nigerians
now,
to?
Why do you want Nigerians to trust you and believe you and expect accept what you have to say, telling them to endure? They see you every day that you don't endure. You are living in larges. So you understand these things that we'll talk about. So this government needs
enjoying the larges of the country.
This government needs to come out and put their acts together and solve.
Now, very quickly now, Nehemiah. Some person said the NLC was not serious. That how will you say they should come out? I think 400 and something thousand, 94,000 before it was. They said 615.
Yeah,
you know, and people said, how would any right-thinking union, labor union, you know, looking at the situation of the country, come out and say the minimum, meaning the least educated person, should be earning in 30 days 400,000 naira? What will happen of the most educated person in that place? And then if we all do that, Zamfara State, there's a report that came out to say Zamfara State was paying 7,000 naira as minimum wage, even as of now, and they are just about to begin to pay 30,000 naira minimum wage. Private sector, this is a deal that involves the private sector as well. Are you saying private sector workers should begin to pay their least educated personnel this amount? How are we not going to become another Zimbabwe? How are we not going to fall into the highest kind of economic turmoil that we have ever had in this country? So why in the first place did they begin from that level? Was that just to begin negotiation? Were they even serious at all? Was the government supposed to take them seriously after they brought up a proposal that wasn't sounding too serious?
Now the thing is this. I saw a flyer on the NLC's social media handle. That flyer reads, I think it reads, you say 494,000 naira is unrealistic. But is 60,000 naira reasonable?
Okay.
Now, what now ended it was, that is why we call it negotiation.
Okay.
What are they trying to imply?
That they just went that high.
It is. Now, when there is room for proper and honest negotiation, I am very sure something within me tells me that NLC cannot just expect the government to agree to 400,000 naira.
Of course.
But something between 100,000, 150,000, 200 naira 200,000 naira can be reached and agreed on. You know, I strongly believe that NLC will have such, you know, assertions in mind that, okay, when we get to the negotiating table, then we can come to 100,000, 120,000, 150,000, which in my opinion is fair enough. If you can take the minimum wage from 30,000 to 100,000, it's fair enough as far as I'm concerned. When you look at, if the government keeps saying Nigeria does not have money, Nigeria is broke, but the people sees you spend money
buying SUVs,
you know,
having hardship allowance, even though the National Assembly has come out to say
approving 90 billion for Hajj that does not have any economic value, you know, to the country. You understand? Then we are still even talking about Hajj. The Christian pilgrimage is there.
Coming. We don't know what to do. What
and definitely the government will still approve money for Christian pilgrimage.
It's religion.
Because it's religion. So now, if you can do that, you know, unquote, to these things, you know, that people can still term as frivolities, you understand, and you ignore the plight of the workers. If you can spend this amount of money in different areas like this that are needless, then you should be able to afford to pay your workers, your workforce, the least 100,000 naira.
Make them happy.
120,000 naira. Sure, you understand. So I believe that, honestly, something in me says, NLC, ride on. NLC, ride on. So that at least you will get them to the table to force them to agree on something reasonable. Force them to agree on something. I am very sure that NLC is not expecting the government to agree to 400,000 naira.
But perhaps they expect,
you know, they expect that when the negotiation,
or they don't expect 300,000.
Yes, they might get 180, 170, and even 200. Which, in my opinion, I feel it is reasonable. If you can increase salary of judges
by 300%,
it is whopping.
That means if somebody was earning $1 million naira before, say
it is whooping.
That's 4 million naira. Yes. Now. If you are earning 100,000 naira before, that is 400,000 naira now.
Exactly how it is.
300%.
A government that cannot cut costs, a government that cannot do these things. Look at when the government, when the president is going somewhere, just look at the arcade vehicles.
No, he reduced his entourage at a point.
So
the president reduced the number of persons that were allowed to travel with him.
Still, we will all agree that the money that is the presidency spends in running the affairs of the state is still bogus. Something needs to be done. They need to listen to the plight of Nigerians, the workers. Imagine shutting down
what if we just work on the constitution and then we have a unicameral legislature? Is that feasible?
It is welcome, but talking about it being feasible
I mean, if we are going to cut costs,
it's a very tall one.
If we are going to cut costs, I mean, what are the options? What costs can we cut that will truly be cutting costs?
It's a very tall
that will truly be cutting costs, and then we feel, oh, this is truly cutting costs.
Now, the way Nigeria is structured now, it will be very difficult for these politicians, you know, to go back to the old system of, you know, governance. And we have
gone back to the old anthem now. So can't we go back? Since we are going back to the old, so
in my opinion, I think they can only go back to that national anthem. As far as I'm concerned, national anthem is not the, you know, does not put something in their pockets. So you understand, as far as I'm concerned, national anthem does not put something in their pockets. Now,
there's no financial gain.
Yes. So what I think can be done, you know, when we talk about cutting cost of governance. Now, look at the number of ministers that we have. Now we can do
40 something.
Everybody can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them nothing. So there is no need to have that number of ministers in the first place.
So you are saying we should probably merge some ministries.
Look at aides. Needless. Look at number of aides. Look at those things. These are where the money go to. Just imagine you. I don't know. Why will I be moving around? I'm moving around with 58.
Look at
48.
the cars.
You understand?
Not just even SUVs.
No, they will take SUVs. They will get official cars. They will get
Highly fuel
cost.
consuming vehicles.
So these are the ways. If the government wants to be honest with Nigerians, we know that the thing it will be a tall order for we to be expecting this set of politicians, to go back to those kind of. But if they want to prove to Nigerians that they are for Nigerians, they should just be honest with Nigerians. These are the things that they can easily do, and you will see that definitely the government will have more money to spend. Look at how they roam around the subsidy of a thing at the end of the day.
We are still coming to that topic, but very quickly now let's move to the next, because virtually this week it has been a labor versus government week. Practically that has been
very, very,
it has been at the fore.
Strong one.
So I'm asking, because many persons have come out to say, what amount is good enough? What amount can be labeled a living minimum wage?
Wow.
What amount is feasible as pay for the least experienced, the least educated personnel in a government office, considering the fact that we have a 33% inflation rate, the highest in the last 28 years, and we have a 40.59% food inflation level. We are not in a war. Obviously, 30,000 naira can't work. So what can work?
Now, when the usual talk that you hear around workers, that will say even your take home cannot take you home.
It can't.
You understand?
Can't take you to the bus stop.
Now, when we look at the realities of the time we live in, our economic realities, 30,000 minimum wage cannot even buy you a bag of rice.
It can't. Can it buy you a basket of tomatoes?
This is where I think these are the things that should be driving the discussion. These are the things that should be driving the negotiations when you talk about increasing pay wages for workers. These are the things that inflation, economic realities, what things are truly, the price of commodities are truly saying in the markets. These are the things that should be driving the conversation if the government truly has empathy for the people.
Other persons have said perhaps the labor union, or unions rather, should have been more interested in saying, okay, electricity subsidy, bring it back. Fuel subsidy, bring it back. And then say, okay, you want us to come to so amount. Okay, we'll agree to it if you bring back some of these things that have made lives difficult for Nigerians, rather than saying, okay, there's inflation, okay, give us high money. Because at the end of the day, the salaries will still fizzle out because of the way you will spend, what you are spending on. So why not have a deal that says, okay, we are not collecting as high as we want, but these are the things government will be bringing back. Perhaps education subsidy will be brought back as well. Because if you know anybody in public universities right now, especially in federal universities, you'll be shocked that it's different.
Of course.
Fees now is on a different level.
Of course.
Even in federal schools that used to be 9,000 naira per session. Some years ago, 18,000 naira per session.
Some schools are paying 120.
I'm telling you,
90,000.
there was no single session that I paid up to 30,000 per session. There was no session that I paid 30k. There was no session.
I think in the fight that the NSC is fighting for these wages, the electricity tariff issue is included.
It's more like on the it's not on the burner per se. It's just
it's more like that they should revert back to the old tariff. The NSC is telling the government to revert back to the old tariff now, because even in the new tariff, in so many areas in the country, they are still not getting the electricity.
The band-aid.
So the band-aid,
225 naira per.
Come about the band and the rest of them. I think, in my opinion, if we talk about the living wage,
it should
be something that enables a family, to put something on the table, to put food on their table, take care of their basic needs. Now, when we look at the realities of our economy today, a lot of when we talk about price, the price hike on so many commodities. Now, I
Staple
feel that
foods.
100,000 naira minimum wage will go a long way. In my opinion, 100,000 minimum wage.
So 100,000 naira is a living minimum
as far as
wage.
100,000 naira is a living minimum wage when you look at the realities of our economy as of today. Because when you go to the market now, we saw a report that sellers of yam are now cutting the
Into
into two, because when somebody comes to buy a full tuber of yam and you say that tuber of yam is 6,000 naira.
He or she will just turn back. Most likely, she will just say please.
So you cut it in pieces and okay, this
1.5.
1.5. 1.5. Okay, I see. I think I have that 1.5.
I'll manage this one. Peel it.
I will manage this
and
one.
Cut into 20.
So you understand? So a living wage should be able to buy you a tuber of yam comfortably. Should be able to buy you these things comfortably. That is what I call a living wage, because your basic things, food, and those just
you can cook soup.
You can
buy rice.
You can do those.
I mean, these are things that we do.
These are the things.
Rice,
yam, beans,
spaghetti.
Look at the amount
a
that
bag
a
of
bag
beans.
of beans is being sold for today. Even the gari that they call the common man.
I think they say it's now 35,000 naira per bag or 40.
Look at how much gari is being sold for today. Imagine gari is competing with a bag of rice in price. So that is how difficult things have gotten. So I think, in my opinion, the 100,000 naira living wage is reasonable.
Very quickly, sorry for breaking you, Nehemiah. Since we are doing what prices are now and what they used to be, I think we should just, intimate some of our viewers, intimate the audience with prices of goods, prices of commodities in the past year before this government came on board, and what it is now that FX subsidy has been removed, fuel subsidy has been removed, other subsidies have been removed. People are not just talking. Education subsidy has been removed, but somehow, I don't know, it's not as loud as some of these things that affect the average man out there on the streets.
Before you go to school, you eat.
Of course, even in school you eat now. In May 2023, a bag of rice, 50 kg bag of rice, was 35,000 naira. 35,000 naira for a bag of rice. So say Mr. A and Miss B are getting married, with 3-4 bags of rice, I think you are done. I mean, are you inviting the entire Lagos to your wedding? If it's just, normal, say 2-3 bags of rice.
Of course.
I mean, bags of rice now is a whole bag of rice. I don't even think you should need up to 3 bags of rice now. Just say 2.
No, depending on your guests, and
it's 2 bags.
You cannot even have the whole Lagos.
2 bags. If you have putting it in your house as a man, this is a bag of rice. So even if you have 3 children and a wife, say you guys are 4 or 5, a bag of rice should do you like 4 or 5 months, perhaps 6. But now a bag of rice is 80,000 naira. 35 is 70. That is well over 100%.
Well over 100%.
Flour 50 kg for women that do this buns business, puff business and all. A bag of flour 50 kg used to be 28,500. It is now 50,000 naira.
Wow.
28,500. That's say 29 plus 29. Not up to 100% yet, but we are heading towards 100%. A bag of beans, May 2023, used to be 30,000 naira. A bag of beans. A bag of beans today is 95,000 naira. So that's times 3, the 300% of the judges. It's effective in the bag of beans. A bag of onions used to be 28,000 naira. A bag of onions is now 60,000 naira, well over 100%. You can see the rates over 100%, close to 100%, over 100%, over 100%. Palm oil, 25 liters, that big 25 liters that you have to drag, 29,000 naira is now 25,000 naira. The only item that has gone down in price. Beautiful. A bag of cement, in May 2023 used to be 4,200 naira in May 2023. A bag of cement as at today is 6,500 naira, from 4,002 to 65. Some percentage of increment there. 3 tubers of yam then, May 2023. 3 tubers of yam, good yam, that should feed a family, I guess.
Yeah,
3 tubers, and even still keep some, I guess. Was 2,000 naira. 3 tubers of yam, 2,000 naira, May 2023. As of today, it is 10,000, just a little over a year ago. Bread, we all eat bread. I think everybody, just bread and beans, bread and what they call moi moi and akara in local parlance. Everybody does just bread and tea, bread and coffee. Bread. A loaf of bread used to be 900 naira in May 2023. As of today, it is 1,600 naira. A little close to 100%, about 70-80%. A bag of gari, whether you are eating or you are
the common man food,
the average man's food on the streets, used to be 28,000 naira. A bag, 50 kg, that 50 kg bag of gari, it is now 50,000 naira. 25k would have been 100%, so that's about 70-80%. The only thing that came down is palm oil. Every other thing has gone up 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%. We even have some that are close to 300%. Now, 30,000 naira was minimum wage as at this time. And I know how people were saying, oh my God, Buhari, I was doing this to the economy. People still wanted it. And now that 300%, 300%, 100%, 80%, 95%, these are basics. These people are not trying to build houses yet.
Yeah.
These people are not buying cars here.
They just want to.
These are guys that just want to eat. And look at the prices. These are the average things Nigerians eat in Nigeria.
Yes.
Bread, rice, beans,
Yam.
oil, yam, basics.
Yeah.
Cement, and we are. Aren't we supposed to be looking at how some of this, probably urge the government to have their own market. Trainers, have been looking at this saying, okay, if you have enough government markets where you sell at certain prices, having deals that will be in place. Because at the end of the day, even if you pay 20,000, I'm just saying, this amount will still, with this amount, be enough for a minimum wage person to survive. Even if you give the man 100,000 naira, will this person look at these prices of goods? 80%, 200%, 150%. There's no transportation included in this. Transportation is practically the same or more, especially on Lagos roads.
This is.
I'm saying the question is, this money that we are asking for, or that Labour is asking for, at the end of the day, in 2-3 months, when the market woman knows that Baba Ahmed and Mommy Solomon have now gotten increment in wage, what is saying that this woman that is selling bag of tomato for 150 will not make it 180? You've increased your own wage, they increased their own wage. Are we not going back to the same inflation we are trying to run out from? That's my question.
Now the thing is this: we know how things work in Nigeria. We know how people tend to take advantage of situations. Now this is where the government comes in. We've seen cases where the federal price control go around sealing up shops,
after those 2-3 shops that they sealed, which how many, what has become of the FFC?
When I talk about governance, I say so much about regulation. If government pays a lot of attention towards regulation, I believe that a lot of things can be fixed. A lot of things can be fixed if government pays attention to regulation. Now, when we talk about food, it is appalling that in a country like Nigeria, where we are blessed with arable lands, we are going hungry. This is something that should bother everybody. And the main problem, we will say it, we've been saying it, and we will keep saying it, is insecurity. Take away insecurity, and see Nigeria
Flourish.
Take away insecurity and see Nigeria flourish. So it is very, very paramount and important that we take the issue of insecurity very, very
seriously
and make it a priority.
All right. The last topic is the Stabilization Advancement Plan that was prepared by the coordinating minister of the economy, Mr. Wale Edun, that was submitted to the president. That has a lot of things involved, including opening of the borders that we have been screaming. Some of us have been screaming on this show for a while now, but I won't be able to go on with that. We would like to, unfortunately, we don't have, we won't be able to go on to that topic right now. Thank you very much, our viewers, for being a part of this packet. Thank you very much, Nehemiah Nwosu, for being a worthy analyst on the show. Thank you very much for our producers for helping us put together this entire package. So, on behalf of everybody here on the show, it's bye from us. Have a fantastic day. The weekend begins tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. See you same time next week on the show. God bless you.